Hello, welcome to Schools Not Out, your daily classroom for C-Sec and CAPE students. You can watch this lesson real time on Television Jamaica's YouTube channel or on onespotmedia.com. We also are live on Music 99 and gojamaica.com. If you have questions on today's subject, which is CAPE Sociology, you can send them into TVJ's Facebook page or Instagram at television_Jamaica. I am Orville Beckford, and I'm your lecturer for today. Hope you'll enjoy it. It is revision time and we are closer to exam, so let's go. Let's get into it. And so we are looking at the revision. I spent some time looking at what are some of the things that you need to know in preparation for your exam. So the syllabus, so I look at the syllabus. I start, of course, with the syllabus. A number of you students sometimes believe that the teacher must complete the syllabus. At the CAPE level, there is what we call self-directed learning. You are expected to take charge of your learning. The teacher will try as much as possible to complete the syllabus, but it is incumbent upon you, the student, to complete the syllabus. So we always start back at the syllabus. And notice that for the CAPE Sociology syllabus, I've highlighted what the syllabus is asking you to do. So in your preparation now, as you get ready for exam, we are closer, you start to look at the syllabus introduces students to theories and research methods of sociology. I've highlighted those in bold: the sociological perspective, the process of social structural change, and with specific emphasis on development and modernization of societies, and so on. So these are very important. Students will acquire a set of sociological competencies that enable them to use the practical and problem-solving approach to the analysis of society. I'm going to go into each of them because you must know what is being expected of you in terms of on the exam paper. And too many times people just go into the exam and have no idea in terms of what the course is about. So the theories and research methods of sociology. Many theories and theories become part of the dialect. So we will engage with a number of theories and theories right throughout the course. You have already engaged with a number of theories and theorists. I just picked one, C. Wright Mills, the sociological imagination, that says, how do you read and write sociologically? Because the problem is, if you don't know how to read and write sociologically, you're going to have problem engaging with the material, especially for those in Unit 2, where we start to look at applied sociology and look at how the various theories talk about deviance and crime and poverty and so on. So it's important that we understand that aspect of it. And so there's a historical sensibility. We need to know the importance of history. There is an anthropological sensibility that you are looking at sociology from an anthropological perspective. And there's a critical sensibility. You're expected to think, you're expected to critically analyze. So this is just the introduction. We are going to move on. We have a break now, but we'll come back, and so we'll get into the real meat of the matter. So just stay tuned, get your books out and get ready. We are going to explain a whole lot of things to you today. We'll soon be back.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Get moving! Home workout series with Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica move, mobilize, exercise. Jamaica move, Jamaica move, Jamaica move, mobilize, exercise. Come on, take a selfie, breathe.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here.
Get moving! Home workout series with Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica, move, mobilize, exercise. Jamaica, move, Jamaica, move, Jamaica, move, mobilize, exercise. Come on, take a selfie, breathe.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:35 a.m.
Hi! We haven't left you out. It's Get Moving Kids.
Wall Street above, we're moving.
Home workout series with Jamaica Moves. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 2 p.m. on TVJ.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for
Get moving! Home workout series with Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica, move, mobilize, exercise. Jamaica, move, Jamaica, move, Jamaica, move, mobilize, exercise. Come on, take a selfie, breathe.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:35 a.m.
Hi! We haven't left you out. It's Get Moving Kids.
Wall Street above, we're moving.
Home workout.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
There you are, students. Welcome back to Schools Not Out, your daily classroom for CSEC and CAPE subjects. The subject we're dealing with today is CAPE Sociology, and we have just started. Now we are going to move a little faster because we have to complete revision of Unit 1 and then move on to Unit 2. So you'll find that some of the subjects, we have been through them already in previous Schools Not Out, so I won't spend much time on them. But because it's a revision session we are having, I put them on the screen so you can know you need to revise them. So we have here the modules that you have in Unit 1, the concept, the perspective, Module 2, social institution, family, religion, education. We have been through all of these already, so I won't spend much time on them. Some of them that I think you may need to come back to, I will refer to. So there are concepts that we have to look at. Social order, social change. I'll look at the ones that I know give students problem, the one that you have difficulty wrapping your mind around. So those are the ones that I will spend a few minutes on. So for example, social order. Sounds like a very easy concept, but students have a problem thinking of social order. So it refers to the way in which the various components of society function or work together to maintain the status quo, how everything gelled together. And so we have social order here in Jamaica, but it may be different from in Iran. It may be different from in Iraq. It may be different from in Barbados, because how things function, how they work together to maintain the status quo, that is as a result of the social structure within which we operate. So that's for social order. Then social structure, this is distinctive stable arrangement of institutions that enables human beings in a society to interact and live. So we have a social structure. TVJ has a social structure. There is things that you have to do, things that must be prepared by a certain time. There are certain roles that have to be carried out, and so they have a social structure. So every society has a social structure. We may be similar in some regard, but sometimes we do not have the same social structure. Then social institution, you keep hearing that term over and over. It is important for Unit 1 and Unit 2 that you understand the concept of social institution. So this pattern of the social order in society that results in pattern behavior. You do the same things over and over. A group of people, as they seek to meet their social need. So for example, so the people at TVJ who are manning the cameras and so on, in order to meet their social need, they have to come to work. TVJ provide that place for them to come to work. So workplace end up being part of a social institution. So TVJ is an institution, organization, but it also becomes part of the social institution. And so the social institutions like religion, education, we do the same things over and over. You get your pay, you pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, you buy some food, and so the economy becomes a social institution. You go to school, there are rules and regulations, you have to follow those rules and regulations, you do CAPE or CSEC, and you pass your subject, you move on to university, so education becomes a social institution. The politics becomes a social institution. Every 5 years we dance and we vote for one party or another. We may change as well as we might not change the party in power, but it becomes pattern. We do the same things over and over and over. So that's a social institution. Then we have social change. These are changes to the social order resulting from changes in social interaction and relationship that transform cultural and social institutions. We have gone through some serious social change in this country. In fact, the period of our greatest social legislation was in the 70s, when we had a number of acts that were passed, the Bastard Act, so children that were born out of wedlock still have access to their parents' legacy on the death of the parents. We had the LRID, the Labor Relations and Industrial Dispute Act, and these are things that change the order, change the social interaction and relationship in terms of how we interact. So that's the importance of social order. So of course, there are other areas that we have looked at already. Family, explain the characteristics. You are to be able, because this is taken from the syllabus, to explain the characteristics and function and transformation of the family in the Caribbean and evaluate the main theoretical perspective. So of course, the first part, the characteristics of Caribbean family, most people use the definition given by George Herbert Mead, which really looks at the function of the family for sexual reproduction, economic cooperation, and of course the socialization of the child. But in the Caribbean, we have specific families. We have a number of different family forms. We have nuclear family, we have common law union, we have extended family, we have single-parent family, we have a number of them, which you should know the characteristics of them and be able to explain, and so on, and evaluate the main theoretical perspective. There are many theories and theorists that have written about the family. In fact, the family is one of the most written about topics in the Caribbean. Family and gender is two of the most written about topics, so it's not hard to find information. So of course, there are a number of people who we look at. So we look at George Herbert Mead in terms of the ideal nuclear family. But of course, within the Caribbean, we have a number of Caribbean theorists who have written about the family. M.G. Smith, E. Franklin Fraser, Barry Chevans, and we could go on and on and on and on. So you are supposed to know the main theoretical perspective. How does the functionalist see the family? Of course, it serves a function. And George Herbert Mead, who himself was a functionalist, referred to the functions of the family: economic cooperation, sexual reproduction, and of course, socialization of the young. And of course, the Marxists think that the family form that we have are to continue capitalist society. So religion, explain the characteristic function and transformation of selected religions. Again, we incorporate in this section Rastafari, but the races do not consider their thing a religion. They say it's a way of life, but we incorporate it. And so we have Hinduism, there is the hegemonic Christianity, and so on and so forth. So you are supposed to know the characteristics and functions of these. What are some of the functions of religion in the Caribbean? For some people, is a method of social control. You want the child to behave properly and to send the child to Sunday school. And so because the church is one way in which they provide a moral compass. So religion has a number of characteristics. Education, explain the characteristic function and transformation of the educational system. Again, this involves the history, starting from where we were during slavery with education. Our slaves weren't taught. After slavery, although some schools started during slavery, schools like Manning's and Woolmer's and so, started a long time, but they were just for the children of the plantation owners. Then eventually they allowed black people to attend those schools afterwards and so on, and the rest is history. But what we look on most importantly is how the educational system that we got is very British, extremely British. So you ended up doing a lot of things that are not so Caribbean. So our education system, before CSEC, we had books that were written in developed countries, and we had to engage with them. So I had Chaucer and Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and so on. All of those books that I did at KC had nothing Caribbean in them, nothing at all. Luckily, come 1980, to 1983, we start to have old story time, other literature book. We start to have a boy named Cow, I can't remember, or is a cow named boy, I can't remember. But we have Green Days by the River, and we start to understand our own situation in the Caribbean. So education start to take a path that the people who it is given to can understand and also develop a sense of self and so on. So it's very important. Social stratification, we spend a long time on it. We spent some time on it in one of the previous Schools Not Out with TVJ. And so I've sent them to the ministry so you teachers can contact the ministry to get all the PowerPoints that I've used. I've sent all of them so far, and I'll send the one today as well. So we're not going to spend a long time on it. So social stratification, of course, this is how individuals and groups are organized in society, one above the other, by some social bases. And these social bases may be race, class, color, geography, sex, gender, you name it. And remember, sex and gender is two different things. You're either male or female biologically, but your gender is socially constructed, and so on. So all of these factors influence social stratification in the region. And where did we get our social stratification from? It came from plantation society. The same structure that existed on plantation society is almost the same structure of social stratification that we have now. Plantation society ended 1917. That was when we got the last indentured workers in the Caribbean. In fact, they were Indians. So we started with the East Indians from 1838, and the last one came in 1917. So that structure with the whites at the top, followed by the mulatto or browning class, then followed by the blacks and Indians, almost remained the same. That kind of rigid social stratification. There have been some changes, but not enough for us to say that there have been a major or radical change to our social stratification process. It is still very difficult, as a writer have said, that for the daughter of a farmer or the son of a farmer to become a doctor or a lawyer. Very, very difficult. We still have a very rigid system of social stratification. When you want to know how rigid it is, most of us or most of you will die in the stratum in which you were born. Then if you die in the same stratum, then you have moved. So the system is extremely rigid and so on. So we have discussed social stratification. We won't spend some time on it. But remember, you'll have questions on the multiple choice about certain concepts in social stratification, class, status, and and other issues that are part of the syllabus. So make sure that you go and you read them. We move on now to the other issues. Important to understand this perspective for the SBA. Because remember, part of the SBA for about 7 or 8 out of the mark for the SBA, they ask you to relate it to sociological theory. So whatever your SBA is about, it must have a link to sociology and sociological theory. So what it means that if you do not understand the theories, you're going to be in serious trouble. So which means that because you have to link whatever you're studying. I'm studying the effect of dancehall music and student academic performance. So what's the sociology in it? What is sociological about it? Which theories are you going to use? Are you going to use the functionalists, the Marxists, the interactionists? Which ones of the theories you think apply to your topic, and so on. So here are the units that we have is consensus, functionalists, conflict Marxists, interactionists, and feminists. We went through those again in a previous TVJ course, in a TVJ Schools Not Out, and we spent a lot of time on them. So I'll just quickly again run through them for you as you prepare for your CSEC, for your CAPE exam. So consensus, functionalist, consensus because there is the thinking of these theorists that we all agree on certain basic things in society. So for example, they believe because we all have the same kind of socialization, because we have similar social institution, then we all have what we call value consensus. We all believe and think the same way. Of course, the Marxists think otherwise, but for the functionalists, they believe that this is how we come to have social order. This is how we come to be able to think along the same line. And why is it that if we see somebody beating a child, we shriek? Because we all have that same collective conscience that we know something is wrong. Why is she hitting the child and the child is on the ground? So for us, all of us, because of how we're socialized to respect children, to take care of children, to respect the elderly, we all tend to have the same reaction. And so that's why we call it consensus theory. So you generally can think how the functionalists view anything just by understanding functionalism. The next one is conflict Marxist. Of course, it is heavily influenced by Marxist theory. And for Marx, the economy forms the base of society or the infrastructure, which then create a superstructure of values and belief system. In other words, money determines your values. But I don't agree with Dr. Beckford. What rubbish you telling me? So would you get married to an unemployed person? Perhaps if he's at university. Perhaps if he are coming to Lotto or something. So when you think about it, there are so many areas in which Marx is correct. We want to deny it, no man, that I'm in love only for love's sake. Really, so I don't marry to an unemployed youth on the corner. Why? Because, of course, according to Marx, the economy forms the base of society or the infrastructure, which then create a superstructure of values and belief system. So money determines your values, money determines your belief system. You can disagree with Marx as much as you want, you can disagree with him. But that's what we call his theory, the theory of economic determinism, because for him, the economy determines everything. Money determines your values and so on. So of course he spoke about means of production, mode of production, and so these are things you must remember for your multiple choice, and also relations of production, ROP. So for example, the people here within the room at TVJ all have to communicate to get Schools Not Out going. So that's what we call the ROP, the relations of production. So we have the production that you see, the final thing, you see this person talking about Cape Sociology, but it's a whole lot of interaction that to be going on, a whole lot of relationship that are in place by TVJ that causes you to be able to see the program. So Marx speaks about the relations of production and so on. So it's important that you understand, and for him, conflict is the start of understanding society. For the functionalists, you start looking at society by dealing with social order. Notice Marx went the other end. So the functionalists, social order, everything good, we're all right. Marx said, hell no, no. We're all in conflict, children with parents, the workers at the TVJ along with the management, not that I'm going to go and cuss and quarrel, but there's always this conflict that we need to sort out. And so for Marx, is the basis of his examination of society. Very important. The interactionist, of course, as the term says, and I say to you, student, when in doubt, take things at face value. So interactionists have to do with interaction. They think that people make sense of the world around them by their interaction. So for example, if you pass a Rastaman on the road, you know he's a Rastaman because he'll have on something that is red, green, and gold. Or you may have on a turban, or a khaki suit, or a khaki thing over it, or a rod. You said, blessed elder, blessed elder. And they said the deeper the bow, the greater the respect. So we interact with them based on what we see. You come into the classroom, I'm teaching, you said, excuse me, teacher. You assume I'm the teacher because our interaction is the teacher stands at the front of the class and the students sit down further from him or her. And so which is why we know that that is the interaction. So this is what the interaction is about, that we make sense of the world around us by our interaction. And the feminist theory went through that again in terms of feminism, how they view things being male or female, being masculine or feminine, how we look at the social construction of feminism and the social construction of masculinity. So the boy is allowed to come home. I was allowed to come home. And I was from KC. Of course, I gave them the excuse that I was trying out for the track team. I did try, but didn't make it. And so I reached home 6 or 7 o'clock, it's fine. None of the girls, my 5 sisters, could let the school finish 3 and they're at St. Diego, they should be home by 3:30. That's the social construction of femininity. And you and I know why they were so up about the girls being home by a certain time, but the guy, I could come home 7 o'clock or 7:30. Where are Orville? I was playing football and the match just went on and on and on and on and so on. So the issue of how we view male and female, the issue of the workplace and gender division of labor. If I said to you that an engineer is coming to address you, what do you expect, a male or a female? Of course a male, but we have excellent females who are engineers, believe it or not. I said to you, a nurse is coming to address you, what do you expect? Of course a female we expect, but we have some good male nurses, excellent male nurses. So we have this gender construction of the different roles in society. We think certain roles should be male, certain roles should be female, and remain that way. So people are objected to women going on the construction site. But I'm saying a woman is supposed to be able to do anything that she has the ability to do. And so we don't say that, no, because she's a woman, she must stay home, or she mustn't do this, or she mustn't do that. And likewise for the male. And so that's feminism. We went through those again. And so that's it in terms of for Unit 1. So let us go back through quickly. It's important for you to understand the perspective. It is important for you to understand the perspective in terms of functionalism, Marxist conflict, interactionism, and feminism. Why you come back over into Unit 2 now to use those perspectives to understand the applied sociology, to understand poverty, to understand crime and deviance, to understand development, to understand population. So it is important that you understand those basic things. In Unit 1, in preparation for Unit 2, they lay the foundation for you to understand and do better in Unit 2. So we're moving on now to Unit 2. Hope you're with me. So I just put here what is on the syllabus for Unit 2, Module 1, Population and Development. These are very large areas. Population long, development is also long as well. We went through both of them in our previous TVJ Schools Not Out. So TVJ Schools Not Out have really allow you to view the entire syllabus. Then we have crime and deviance, and then we have Caribbean social issues, poverty, health, and the environment. So it's important that you understand each of the areas, because you're going to the problem with a multiple choice paper. When you have a multiple choice paper, you have to know everything. You think you could perhaps spot 1 and 2 essay question, but with multiple choice, you get so many definitions and so many names and theories that you have to know all of them. So very important. So of course there are a number of population concepts that you should know. Again, I took this from the syllabus just to remind you that you're gonna see MCQ, multiple choice questions, and these things. So we have birth rate, crude birth rate, crude death rate, fertility rate, natural increases, life expectancy, migration, population growth rate, dependency ratio, quality of life index, and human development index. Again, I picked a few of them just to, especially the ones that are difficult, so you can understand and follow in terms of what we mean by them. We don't have the time to go through all of them. Some of them are very easy to understand concepts. Some takes a little more time. So we spend some time. So we look at population growth rate. So here we said that this is the rate of increase plus the net migration rate. So what we do now, so we give us the definition, but you tend to have questions that are of a computational nature. They're all going to ask you to find out what is this, what is that, or so on. So I gave an example here because they expect you to use your head to critically think. So the problem said that in calculating the population growth rate of Tortola for 2007, Shakira subtracted the number of deaths from the number of births. What additional steps should she have taken? So of course, we look up here, it's the rate of natural increase, net migration rate. Did she take that into account? She didn't take the net migration rate. So we know one must be a part of it. Compute the change in birth rate? No, I'm not so sure if she needs to do that. Added net natural increases to net migration? Yes, because that's what the formula says. Rate of natural increase plus net migration rate give you the population growth rate. And so we really, what you read for, nevertheless, other than the net fertility rate to the death rate. No, the fertility rate in terms of a woman in the childbearing age, how many women within the childbearing age and so on. No, so it is 1 and 3. 1 and 3. So it's B. So also the dependency ratio. Dependency ratio, we work it for a country, but you can also work it for a household. The amount of people in the household who are working over, the amount of people in the household who are not working over the amount of people who are working. That's how we can find the dependency ratio. And in some households, especially when you go to the lower classes, inner cities, that ratio goes out of whack. As one person working, but 20 people live in the household. It poses a lot of social problem and social ill. Likewise for our country, it poses serious problem when we have too many people in the country not working. So we said that the country has a population of 1,000 people and there are 250 children under the age of 15 and 500 people between the ages of 15 and 64 and 100 people age 65 and older. We know that once they are 65 and older and they are children, then those are part of the dependency ratio. And so we said the 250 plus 100 over the 500 people. And that gives us the dependency ratio of 70%. Quality of life index, of course, these are what we call composite index, in that is more than one issue that are taken into account when we calculate those indices. So quality of life index is a multidimensional health index, and I include here the element because for your multiple choice they may ask you which of the following is part of the quality of life index. So we said that it includes nutritious food, because there are food that are not so nutritious. You eat burger every day, that's not exactly nutritious. Health, that speaks for itself. Family size, because of course the larger the family, the more difficult it is to maintain healthy lifestyle and to provide for the family and provide for rent and mortgage and provide for children to go to school to get textbook and so on. Family size, right. Family income, again, when there's very little family income, it becomes very difficult for it to spread. For those of us who were born in inner city, we know how difficult it was when one person was working and there are 13 or 14 mouths to feed, the one salary and pay rent and send children to school. Education, speak for itself. Security and savings and sanitation. I found it strange that quality of life has to do with sanitation. But in the COVID period, the COVID-19 period here, sanitation is key. Because very, very key. And so we can understand. So Human Development Index, of course, this is a composite index used to measure or rank the levels of development among countries. We will leave the discussion and decide that who determines our level of development. Do we determine our own level of development, or a developed country that has ravished us during slavery now determine that we're not developed? Like seriously, honestly, really? But anyway, so the three components are life expectancy, education, and we know per capita income. So I deal with migration, here immigration. Now these are population things that we have problem with because they're going to ask you a number of multiple choice questions about immigration different from emigration. So you are an immigrant going into the country. So some of the positive effects, so you get cultural exchange because people come with different types of culture and so on, and so we become we become a melting pot of culture. The Caribbean is known as the people who came. So many of us immigrated to our ancestors, immigrated into the region. So we have a very cultural melting pot. Importation of skilled labor. Yes, when people immigrate to your country, you get labor. Immigrants may fill a labor shortage gap in a particular area. Example, nursing. We have a number of Cuban nurses filling that labor gap. Not that they have all immigrated here. Some are just working to go back home, but I can tell you, some of them going to get married to a Jamaican and don't go back home. And it also may solve underpopulation. Yes, because for example, Canada has rolled out a process for immigrants to come to Canada because they are underpopulated. And when you're underpopulated, it's not good because it also affects your development. One, you don't have a number of people that can buy the product, so therefore you depend on other countries outside of your country to buy your product. So what it means is that your security is then impaired, and so on. Negative effect, locals may lose jobs to immigrants. That happens. Overpopulation, because people coming in but anybody leaving. Conflict resulting from different cultural norms. We have seen it all over. So the expats have a different culture from the person who is working, the Jamaican, and it causes problem. May cause increase in crime because sometimes you get the bad with the good. And may bring COVID-19 with them. That's a serious problem. That's a very serious problem. So we now move on to emigration. So when you emigrate, it reduces the population. So that's because people gone abroad, gone to America. Aid with unemployment, because people gone, then other people can get their jobs. Remittances from overseas employed person. One of our largest income in the balance of payment is what we call unrequited transfer. People that have emigrated send back money via Western Union, via Victoria Mutual, Jamaica National, Grace Kennedy, remittances, wherever it is. And so it helps in the development. Successful immigrants may send back money or return for business investment. So a number of Jamaicans work abroad for a while, save some money, come back and they open a restaurant, they open a business, and so on and so forth. The negative effects, of course, the first one, brain drain. We lose some of our qualified and best people. And this involves all levels. Technical people who operate cameras, who are good at it, but of course they get attracted to the United States and Canada. High dependency ratio are the dominant age group that emigrated 16 to 45. So they are the ones who are working, but they are the ones who are gone. So we end up having high dependency ratio, underpopulation. Social issues related to juvenile delinquency, because the parents they migrate to make things better for the children. But sometimes it don't work out as they thought it would. Within a year or two, I can send for you students, you children. No, doesn't work that way. And so we have problems like poverty, sibling-headed household, children are the head of the household. There's no parents present and so on. So these are some of the issues that we have. Then we have other issues such as urbanization, where people will leave from the rural areas, come into Kingston. And of course, we have had a constant urban drift. This is how the western part of the city started. So people came into Kingston in search of jobs. They come the first day, didn't get a job. They got a piece of cardboard and they went out to the western part of the city and they put up a little shack. It was known as Dongle. Dongle was evacuated to make way for what is now Tivoli Gardens. But this was a result of urbanization, the urban drift. So the centralization of economic activities such as commercial parks make it easier to provide infrastructure. So we are saying that it has some positive, not so sure if they outweigh the negative. So for example, we have along Marcus Garvey Drive commercial parks. So individuals can rent space from the government. You don't have to build a whole factory. So therefore you can cut out that part of the startup cost by just renting a factory space. And all of these are in the same area. So what you find now is that people will come from outer Kingston into Kingston to work in those factories. Urban centers entice foreign investors. Yes, because you have a whole heap of people in one space. So for example, real estate, Kingston is now on a real estate boom. So what you find, a number of people are investing in real estate because in the capital, urban part of Kingston, a lot of people are living. We have almost a million, more than a million people after 2.8 million in Jamaica, more than a million live in Kingston. Urban areas are usual melting pots of culture. Yes, of course, because they say that nowhere else in the Caribbean have the kind of nightlife and cultural exchange that we have here in Kingston. I mean, if it wasn't for the COVID, you can find a dance hall every night. So those of us who are into dance hall, there's a dance hall Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, every night. There's a dance hall and so on. Negative effects, urban drift as people move in search of work and amenities. It leaves the rural areas bereft of talent because students come to university, less than 10% of them go back home. And so these are some of the factors. Concentration of government, overpopulation leads to slum, burden on social amenities, poverty and crime due to unemployment and competition. So, of course, I said this slide will be available through the ministry. Crime and the various theorists, because you're going to see this name popping up on your MCQ. Emil Durkheim, Cohen, Albert Cohen. I say, who is Albert Cohen? So I've done issues on each of them, so you can pick up. Robert K. Merton and his strain theory. I've indicated here the various parts of the strain theory. We went through this the last time, so you can read it again as well. Then we're still on the various parts of it, retreatism, rebellion, and I explain what each of them means. Still with the crime and deviance, we have Erickson and we have Howard Becker. So you should know what each of them, what is their argument and where does it lead to. And then Karl Marx is always Karl Marx, believe it or not. He seldom changed. Then I touch briefly on poverty and development, which you should know, Wallerstein's system theory and how we view why we in the third world are so underdeveloped. There's the Sir Arthur Lewis theory and so on. Oscar Lewis, the cycle of poverty. And so that's it in terms of for the almost a rehearsal for the final exam. But that is it. And that's it for this lesson. You can catch a repeat of today's lesson and join in late at 4 p.m. and in Schools Not Out highlights on Saturday between 1 and 4 p.m. It also will be on video on demand on onespotmedia.com. And so read, study, prepare for your CAPE and do well. Bless.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact